Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to Rick Games and welcome back to the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. We are going to do a couple different things today.
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
Somebody made a note about these computers that some of them say awaiting input. And I should find those, but I don't see any of those. Huh. The new content door is not there. I wonder if they're in there.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Also, I want to get the last collectible. This one, yeah. A large room, lots of boxes? Because it looks like we found all of them except one. Lots of boxes to me sounds like the storeroom, like the place with the cargo lift. This is still locked, huh?
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I can't get the stair lift, the cargo lift, rather.
Here's the door, just go.
This just opens up down. And it wouldn't even... Hold on. I don't think I can do it.
8.
8. I don't know what that means, but somebody said just keep on typing in 8 and you get a trophy, and I did, and then a voice says 8. I don't know why. What else can I do from here? Oh, I wanted to grab the bucket and try the escape ending. I haven't seen that one yet. Alright. What's the quickest way to die in this? Spark? Yeah. It always sparks after I walk past it. What's the point?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Probably this way, I guess. Alright.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Skip ahead already.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death. As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story.
Just shut, yeah. Okay. We're gonna do this again.
All his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Should I do the bucket or should I try and get the computers? See, there are still no computers here that say awaiting input, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that.
Good old bucket.
Yeah, the good old bucket.
Stanley and the bucket, off on another thrilling adventure together. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Alright, so we'll try and get the bucket ending for the escape. Oh.
Stanley, we must move on from
Oh,
this.
yeah, there's no
broom
remaining
closet,
stickers.
simply
Yeah,
because I
okay.
have no remaining stickers. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office,
Okay.
Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, if not for the soothing. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
Sheer luck.
Was it that the bucket knew all along?
Yes.
Was the bucket guiding him?
It totally was.
Yes. This is certainly the most logical explanation.
Absolutely. Downstairs we go. Okay. Me and the bucket. Going places, baby. Going to escape. We're getting out of here. Me and the bucket. It's the way to go. There's only one way I'm getting this bucket out of here. And it's over your cold,
Stanley and the
dead
bucket
body.
walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Although this passageway had the word escape written on it,
Okay, here we go.
that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death. The door
You're not-
behind them was not shut.
Right.
Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
But me and the bucket are getting out of here.
Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
For each. You can't kill my bucket. My bucket will protect me. Woo! And face first. Ooh, bucket. That's a cool picture. That's a cool image. Like, things sparking and coming to life like this.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley. No, we're saved again by the bucket.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator,
Narrator.
as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end as it was crushed violently to death.
Nope, I still got my bucket. Hey, there's boxes over here. No collectible over there. Aha!
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket.
Oh,
It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
hey, where's my bucket? Hey, you took my bucket. Is this in memoriam? The great exhibit of the bucket? I'm not gonna read all that. I'm sorry.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to
My
claim
God.
it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can
Oh.
you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
That sucks. But okay. A photograph of 25 buckets, the greatest number of buckets ever captured on camera. The photographer experienced catatonic shock for several weeks as a result of the euphoria from exposure to this many buckets at once. Don't look at it. That is way more than 25 buckets. What are you talking about? Anyway, what's up here? Oh, bucket. Inferno bucket, a replica of the Inferno bucket, which in the medieval era was so powerfully alluring that it drove dozens of nations to war with one another for control of it. Billions died, and yet, in spite of it all, the simple fact remains: no one can control a bucket. Why is it called Inferno bucket? There's cave drawings. Really, with the music? Okay. While we know that buckets predate the existence of mankind, we do not know by how long. This cave drawing depicts early man's discovery of the practical uses of the bucket, by which time the bucket had already likely been around for several millennia. Notice in these drawings how the bucket is allowing itself to be used, having judged humanity to be worthy of its treasures. Gets to carry something. I guess leaks. Oh no, what are we gonna do? Bucket. And it can feed animals, I guess. Yay, we're saved for buckets. Whatever. Okay, up here, what do we got? Bucket?
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
The hanging bucket. This piece symbolizes the necessary relationship between bucket and humanity. However clear our grasp of the bucket may be, there is yet more there is yet more that is always out of reach. This distance inevitably is for our own good. Okay. Not far. Is that another infinity hole? Because we did that before, you know. Don't beat your drums at me. I haven't got off this way yet. The stress bucket analogy. Worrying, negative forecasting, negative thinking, lack of reassurance, vulnerability, size, and strength of the bucket. Coping strategies equals holes. Stress equals the level of water in the bucket. Rest and relaxation. Doing something you enjoy. Rest and relaxation. Presented without commentary. Sorry. That's it. Huh. Alright. I guess that is it. Oh, I didn't see this over here. A bucket with two handles. This bucket is depicted as having two handles. Such a design has never been created in real life, having been deemed too dangerous and recklessly experimental. Every year, dozens are put to death just for attempting it. Don't make a bucket with two handles. You can't handle it. Get it? Is that it? Alright, to the infinity hole. I'm assuming that's the way out. Stop. Stop doing that. Okay, over to... Here we go. You think I can make it? I don't. Let's go! Oh! Did I make it?
But there is something we can do.
What?
Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong.
What was the wrong? I wasn't paying attention. Oh, we're back here? No!
Stanley die.
What?
Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save
What?
the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket
Oh,
should take
no.
his place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
I died. I died hard. I got squished. That was weird. But a loving tribute to the bucket nonetheless. And we're back. There's a phone ringing. It sounds like my phone. It isn't. It just farted. Oh,
Hello. This is a recorded message scheduled either by you or person in your place of work. The purpose of this message is to warn you about the dangers of recorded messages.
what?
If at any time you believe you are listening to a recorded message, please terminate it immediately and cease all flow of information from the recorded message into your perceptual sphere. Thank you, and have a pleasant day.
That was so strange. Okay. I still haven't seen any computers that are waiting input. So it might be Oh wait, then what's left? We have to figure out the that ending with the stuff and the things. What am I thinking of? What am I Surname access. Can I turn that back on? No. What am I doing? The collectibles, that's what it is. I hate Mondays. Don't we all? Okay. I've seen you in there. I know you lead to new content.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Well, no, I'm going right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay.
It was okay. Yeah, it was okay.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Okay, I'm not going to do that. I want to check out this room with a lot of boxes.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Close to the edge without dying. It's over there! How do we get over there? Aha! Oh, and there's a vent. I'm so scared I'm going to fall off of this. Let's just go slow. Take it slow. The last collectible is within reach. Get it. Ah, yes.
And there it is.
There it is!
Stiggly Wiggly.
Stiggly
Serious
Wiggly.
moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it.
That's
Where
right.
so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that.
Right.
So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here.
We're done
and
here.
now we can get at whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Of course. Okay. I want to see if I can get into this vent. I had a feeling it was just going to be... Good job. Actually, I didn't even get a good job. I like calling them Stiggly Wigglies, though. Let's see what's in here. Oh!
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun.
Oh!
That it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path.
So many
that it
tapes.
seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten.
Tapes don't skip.
You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It
I
must
don't
be so
at
simple
all.
to be you.
All right.
Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
I didn't do anything. I just turned off your... Hey! I just turned off your tape, buddy. What? You're the one that put the tape there. That was it? That was that whole thing? You kidding me? All right. Well, we got all the collectibles.
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a
Whoa.
pause on things. It's those figurines. Those figglers.
Uh-huh.
I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness?
I mean, it was cool
Yes,
and all.
I know we're supposed to be telling a story.
Right.
But won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone?
The memory zone!
To revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
Hell yeah, dude. Let's check out the memory zone. Hmm. Huh. When Stanley found the collectibles. Well, that's lovely. What's out here? Nothing. I'm appreciating every tiny little bit of your game, developers. I hope you like it. This is it. Ooh, special little area. Little downstairs area for the collectibles, I guess. Ladder.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible.
Yeah.
Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find.
6.
Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen.
Sure.
But how could we know for certain?
Because it said 6.
You were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
It's over here. Oh, this is the stuff that I found. Oh, okay.
And here was the second Stanley.
Stanley.
You found this one all on your own, just by poking around behind the boss's office. You did
706.
that, Stanley.
Wait. Open us back up. I want to get the other
I
one.
had no faith in you to find
No!
8, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
Oh, no. I didn't know I was supposed to collect them again.
Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini stand? Can you remember?
I think it was this one. Pretty sure it was the executive bathroom.
Hey, that's exactly right. It
Hey,
was
right.
here in the boss's bathroom. It was the third one. You
8 out
picked
of
it up,
6.
and then after that, you had 3 of them. I'm glad
Nice.
these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything.
Okay. Where'd the message on the wall go?
Let's see, what came next? Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh, well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
It didn't. It absolutely didn't. What is that? An apple? Like, what is that supposed to be? Uh-oh. My memories are changing. Ah, I remember this one.
The 5th mini stand, and this one was really something special. It was under the stairs. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. Oh, it's every video I made down in, like, 2005. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. I'm back on Windows Movie Maker. No. Oh, no. Oh no. Oh God, I remember being so stoked that I could do credits. I was like, this is amazing! We can do credits once we can
Takes
movie.
you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
8 minutes. Alright, great. What is this? Going above everything. Oh, it's this part.
And
Yeah.
then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here in the warehouse. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected.
It's true.
It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
I kind of want to jump off this. Oh, I can't. Oh, well, that sucks. I was like, I'm going to go see what's over there. A 11 out of 16. Is that accurate? 11 out of 6, is that what that said? Alright, through here now. Hi, I'm in the present.
And then there was no more. Because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, memory zone.
Oh. Well, that's sad.
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on.
Yeah,
the
stop
loading
loading.
Screen. Is there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just
Figurines.
go backwards. We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction. See
Yes.
how that feels. Okay, yes, this spot in the warehouse. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going. I want more.
Okay, calm down. We're getting there.
And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
Of course I do.
Yes.
Good job.
I love that video.
So do I, in a weird way.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley.
It's
Still
like
no
none of
memory
it,
this
no.
one. Good room, though. A solid room.
Now, wait. I'm trying to remember the other place where we found that. I was by the red and blue doors. Is that what you mean by the pink room? You got red and blue. No, red and blue doesn't make pink. But whatever.
These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have neutered the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm
I
very
agree.
glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
We're not harping on about this at all. Oh, there's nothing over here. You forgot about the red and blue doors, didn't you? Well, all right.
This was our second Figley. Don't you remember?
Yes.
I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it?
Well-
Keep going.
Oh. I don't want to.
This is
Oh,
it,
it's that.
the very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
Is that an exit sign? Oh. Where we first came in. Everything's all shut down. Nothing on these. This is weird, man. Getting a little creeped out by this. What's over here? Weird. Why would you fence that off?
Look,
Jump
it's
circle.
the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then, but time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now.
The jump circle?
Look how much fun the past is. I want more. More memories.
Why are you making me live in the past, dude?
Oh, yes, the two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one.
They both lead to the same place. To my office. Right? Yeah.
And before everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember. Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was... I was different.
Yeah.
I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then, somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy. And I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again.
Don't erase
I
me.
want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I
Really?
did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Wow, really? Okay. Well, you didn't reset everything because there's the balloons.
How wonderful. Stanley was alone. Finally. This is great, he thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted.
I still don't know where those computers are that are awaiting input. I remember seeing one, though. Surname access. Okay, great. Great, great, great. No new content.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Just for the heck of it. Huh. Let's see what it says on the break for you. Reboot the game entirely.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Is that their way of saying, like, I found
Coming to a
everything?
staircase, Stanley walked upstairs
couldn't have
to
found
his
found
boss's
everything.
office.
Ah, look at you! Awaiting input. Huh.
Here's the door, just go.
You're not even excited anymore? What happens if I input the correct code now? Even though I can't see it. Ah. Hooray. Okay. Well, I mean, I guess we can go through the last ending again, like the first ending, whatever the, not the canon ending, I don't think, but the happy ending.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
I mean, I guess if this is, I can't tell if this is still a part of the.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I can't tell if this is still part of the memory ending.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature
Also,
revealed.
why?
Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
234. Eventually I'm going to have to find that room, because I bet you there's something about that.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable.
Sure.
Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
I just want to push all the buttons. I mean, let's really get like a final send-off, you know what I mean? Like, I have no idea if anything happens if you push all the buttons. We did this already. Yes, yes. Okay. Yes, yes. We can do this one. I can't imagine this is how anything works. How about over here? Anything? Okay. Pushing all the buttons just to piss you off. I don't know. I thought maybe I could bring the whole thing online and not explode. Buttons, please. I can't see where I'm hitting. Buttons. Well, I think I've pressed all the buttons. Is that a button? No. If you push every button, then nothing happens. That was a huge waste of time. Thank you very much. How about this one? I pushed all the buttons. You get out of here. Alright, very well. Let's do it.
And when at last he found the source of the root...
Shut up! I'm getting out of here. Open the gate!
And a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved.
Are there
Where
still?
had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold?
I don't
But
think
as
anything.
sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge. or
Doesn't even
power
matter.
that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go.
Let it
No longer
go.
would anyone tell him where to
That
go,
song is for everything.
what to do, or how to feel.
Tell
Whatever
me
life
how
he
to
lives,
feel.
It will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
But did he? Oh, yeah, there's nothing. We did that before. There's nothing. Yeah, you gotta step through the open door. It's the only thing you can do. Ah.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen.
Yeah.
And Stanley was happy.
Ah, so nice. I fall asleep and black it out. But we're back and we're fine and everything's fine and then we're blacking out. Everything's fine though. Okay. I did see. All right, we got to look for the other computers now though, yeah? And there's another phone ringing. God damn it. Ah.
Hello. This is a recorded message scheduled either by you or a person in your place of work. The purpose of this message is to warn you about the dangers of recorded messages.
I said
If
this
at any
already.
time you believe you are listening to a recorded message,
So what
terminate it
what other endings can we get? Oh. Bucket. My bucket.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay.
It was okay.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I did not.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Is there any way to get down
Look, Stanley, I
there?
think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop
see if I can
trying to
land on
make
the truck.
every decision. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the
I tried to land on the
and no
truck!
one gets to tell him what to do.
Didn't work.
Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death.
Hooray!
Good job, Stanley.
Thanks.
Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
I'm sure they do. I don't know. I wanted to see. There was an open door! Alright, fine, whatever. Oh! Welcome, Stanley, to heaven. Oh dear. Do I? Do I have to turn all these off? What? I can't hear what they're chanting. Shutting off all the orange buttons. And one red one because I missed. That one green one. They're chanting buttons. Buttons. Wait, these aren't staying off. Are they? They're not. Is this... So what do I do? Is this seriously just... Okay, I get to press a bunch of buttons, that's awesome. But this isn't my idea of heaven. Can I come around fast enough to shut them all? I don't think I can. I don't think I can turn them all off fast enough before they start coming back on again. Now look. Well, then what do I do? Is this just like a joke? Like I pushed a whole bunch of buttons, so I must love buttons so much though. So clearly this is my heaven. Bunch of buttons to press over and over again, forever and ever, for all eternity. Isn't this great? Isn't this great? Isn't this great? Dude. Alright, I don't think there's anything else to do here. Alright, let's pause. So, yeah, from what I can tell, I'm looking stuff up on the internet. There's nothing to this. You just hit buttons, they come back on, you hit them again. So, I can officially say I've been to heaven, and not for me. Not for me. Let's reset this. Oops. Begin the game again. Anything happen after I begin the game again? This is new. Bucket here.
Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be perfectly fine with him.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Why was that different? That's 411 now.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his Stanley, we must
Yeah,
move
no
on
remaining
to
stickers.
room.
Yeah, I think this is
Simply
it, dude.
because I have no... Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fined for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then, something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought.
Poor
Usually the bucket is a source of
Okay.
guidance and wisdom.
Yeah, this is the same thing over and over again.
Such as
Okay.
these. He
I
held the bucket
think-
close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone...
Okay. I'm gonna stop here. I think everything's done. I think I've seen everything the game has to. I'm not going back to heaven.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Why is it different?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
But
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
all right,
It was okay.
all right. I'm restart it again. Now
All of
everything's
his
back to
co-workers
normal.
were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
All right. I think I'm going to leave this episode here. Give me the bucket.
A good bucket, a strong bucket, a humble bucket, a committed bucket, a bucket of culture and distinction.
That's going to be it for the Stanley Parable. I think I'm going to... Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to look up all the endings to the Stanley Parable, because I couldn't have gotten everything. There's so much in this game, I'm sure I missed some stuff. And if it's enough stuff to warrant another video, then I'm going to do another video next time on Rick Games. For right now, please hit that like button, subscribe to Rick Games. Helps me out a lot when you do that. And check out the annotations at the end of the video for more videos that I've done. And next time on Rick Games. Or Stanley Parable, or possibly nothing. We'll find out. Next time on Rick Games. Bye.